Greetings and welcome to the latest episode of Preserve the 80s. Tonight I found myself without having much to do, and I was thinking of just going to bed. But then I realized I had two different types of grape drink powder in my cabinet. There's Welch's and Sunkissed. I bought the Welch's a few days ago and got it at Price Chopper, which is a grocery store chain mainly restricted, I believe, to New England, the upstate New York area. And there were 6 for $1, so that was 17 cents. These Sunkissed ones I bought a bit earlier. I got them at Dollar General when they were $1 each. So they cost 6 times more. We'll see if they were worth it. As far as ingredients go, they appear to be about the same. Both have 5 calories. The Sunkissed offers 6 servings per container, and the Welch's 12. They both have 6 pouches, but I guess Welch's recommends you only use half, and Sunkissed wants you to use a whole package, but a half package will be spilled, so I'm going to use a whole one in this taste test to see what, if anything, is different between these two. So, I mean, I guess, so I don't know if maybe the Sunkissed is meant for soda, and the Welch's is just meant to taste like regular grape juice, but there was Welch's grape soda for a time. Here's a wonderful commercial for it. So now that you've enjoyed that, it's time to get down to business and do what this video is meant to do. I'm going to open up a pack of the Welch's, put it in the glass on the left. And a packet of Sunkissed will go on the glass located to the right. Looks like the Sunkissed one has a bit more in the pouch, which makes it all the more confusing that they recommend a full pouch, whereas Welch's recommends a half. I don't know if Welch's just wants us to have more restraint or what the circumstance may be, but I suppose taste will tell. I have to get up and get some water. Now it's a stir. Probably use 2 separate spoons.
I apologize.
I should probably
for
use 2
cluttering,
separate spoons,
but you don't want
I'll
to
have to get up again.
under stir. You don't want
Unless I
the
can
sediment to
reach
gather
a drawer from here
at the bottom and lose all
Indeed, I
the
can.
taste in the process, all the flavor. I apologize for the loud clattering, but you don't want
You
to
don't want to
understir. You don't
want
want the sediment to gather at the bottom and lose all the taste in the process, all the flavor.
So now we have the Sunkist on the left and the Welch's on the right. I think they were actually reversed sometime in between when I started this out and when I put the water into them. But now this is the Sunkist and this is the Welch's. What I notice immediately is that the Welch's is much lighter in color. I mean, the Sunkist is much lighter in color. Looks more soda-like, while the Welch's looks more juice-like, even though they're both artificial. But it confirms the earlier suspicion I had that this was meant to be more like a soda and this a juice. I believe that was the original plan. So what I will do now is sample the Sunkist first. It's quite good. Now it is time for the Welch's. Well, one thing that strikes me immediately, and it's a bit odd, is that despite being prepared with the same water from the same refrigerator at the same time, the Welch's is significantly warmer than the Sunkist for some reason. It is also thicker. I don't know if the dark color is a testament to that fact. Perhaps I really should have only used a half pack, and that's why it's a bit thicker. Doesn't really explain the warmth though, but still it is there. I guess in order to have a better appreciation of the flavor differences, I probably should have rinsed my mouth in between, but it's pretty clear that these are two, despite having almost identical ingredients, they taste quite different. The Sunkist is a bit sweeter, and it's, as I said, thinner. The Welch's is a bit darker, and it's warm for some reason. What I'm going to do now, I'm trying to drink these at a fairly even rate so that I can combine them with 2 equal parts. I can't do it quite yet because the glass would overflow. That looks about equal. This is punch, right? No, Mr. Worker, it's grape drink. Okay. So getting back to the mixture, I'll now need, well, I guess it doesn't matter because I can use both spoons since they have the 2 grape drinks. Just stir that a bit. Well, as one would expect, it took on the darker color of the Welch's. Let's see how it affects the taste. Well, that was not what I expected. I expected the taste to be sort of a blend between the two, as you would naturally expect. You mix yellow and orange, you get red, not yellow and orange at the same time. I mean, yellow and red separately at the same time. But with this, it's like I'm tasting both drinks at the same time, almost like I'm drinking them separately when drinking them from the same glass. I've never experienced that before. but it's an interesting effect. I'm not sure what causes it. It is not altogether unpleasant. I don't know if you happen to notice, well, maybe you haven't because the camera doesn't seem to be picking it up. But in case you're wondering what's glowing in the background, it's a, set that down a bit too hard. If you're wondering what that is, it's a salt lamp, a Himalayan salt lamp. My girlfriend brought a few into the house, convinced me to buy one as well. And one of the many conditions, odd medical conditions I have been diagnosed with is something called cerebral salt wasting syndrome. I don't process sodium in quite the right way. It's not anything dangerous. The only real effect that it has on me is that I have an enhanced level of craving for salty foods and substances. I remember when I was diagnosed, I read the Wikipedia article about it, and it mentioned that people with cerebral salt wasting syndrome will enjoy drinking pickle juice. And I don't like it with the dill pickles, but if you have the half sours and you remove the pickles from the jar, the remaining brine tastes very good. It makes a good drink. I would not mix it with whiskey though. Some people do that. They call it a pickleback. But whiskey and pickle brine are meant to be enjoyed separately. Now, the reason why I bring up the cerebral salt wasting syndrome is that when I bought these Himalayan salt lamp, well, I only bought one of them, but when they came into the house, I kind of looked at them for a while. I've had Himalayan salt before. It's pretty good. And sometimes you look at the lamp and you haven't had a snack in a while. And sooner or later you're given to the temptation to taste it, and it tastes pretty good. I wouldn't recommend doing it too much because you can probably damage the lamp, and if you smooth it out too much you might crack your teeth in the process, and it's just not worth it. What I did find out was that they sell Himalayan salt necklaces, sort of like a salt lick for humans. Supposedly it's some sort of, I guess, a millennial stereotype to enjoy Himalayan salt lamps and salt licks. I'm not a millennial myself. I happen to be a zennial. It's a micro-generation. If you were born between the years 1977 and 1985, you are called a zennial. It's a portmanteau mixing Generation X and millennials. I guess we have the worst traits of both. I haven't bought one of the salt lick necklaces. I've never been comfortable with jewelry. Even as a kid, I was never had the confidence to wear a ring pop. If I bought one, I would have to kind of cut it off the ring and just sort of crunch away at it where nobody could see me. Things haven't changed that much since then. But I've looked online for salt licks, and you can get a 50-pound brick for a pretty good price. But some of them are not meant for human consumption, just for livestock consumption. Some of them are marketed both ways and they look exactly the same. Some say they're safe for humans, some say they're not. I don't really know what makes the difference. But I have one on the way. It should be getting here any day now. It may start a video soon. I think I will enjoy that quite a bit when it gets here. But my advice to you when it comes to Himalayan salt lamps is taste them a bit if you want to, but just don't go to town on it. Don't go to the point where you're risking injury to yourself or damaging the lamp. Kind of off topic at this point. Getting back on track is conclusion that these are indeed two different brands and they present differently, and when mixed together the result is not what I expected it to be. that's really about all that I have left to me tonight. So with that, I will say to you, farewell.